Were those space bees?
Oh, good, you made it back. Did you get it all out?
Yep.
The quarterly reports are due this afternoon, and I am not convinced we don't have a production issue in the wildflowers.
Who exactly do you think I am?
You're not the drone from the north end of the hive?
No, of course not. Wait, what game are you from?
Honeybuzz, obviously. Look at my bee accountedness. You're from
From
Apiary.
Apiary.
Oh, I see it now. Space bees. You want 12A next door.
Oh. Oh! Sorry. Sorry.
Not at all. That's all right. Stupid git. Hey, boss, you wanted to talk about that script?
Wrong room!
Apiary is a worker placement, tile placement, and resource management game released in 2023 and designed by Connie Vogelman with art by Kwanchai Mariah. The goal is to be the greatest society of space bees ever, reflected in victory points, and buzzing with style. I will not apologize, and that will not be the last time. To set up, place the main board in the middle of the table with the proper player count side up. Shuffle the planet tiles and seed cards, placing them next to the board and on the research action respectively. Place one random face-up explore token on each planet spot in the explore action grid and the queen ship on the starting location. Add one random face-up dance tile to each space under the convert action and place the stack of dance tokens nearby. Shuffle the farm, recruit, and development tiles, placing the stacks face down on the board at the advance action, revealing 3 from each to the marked spaces. Place one random carving tile in each of the spaces in the carve action. Each player picks an available color and takes their corresponding docking mat, player tokens, hibernation tokens, and workers. Each player will place one token at the start of the Queen's Favor track and another at their player order space on the score track. The remaining player token and hibernation tiles go to their docking mat. Give each player a random hive mat and 2 random faction tiles. Each player will choose one to keep and place the other back in the box. Place the chosen faction tile in the marked space in their hive mat and take the highlighted resources from the supply to put in the circled spaces. Set starting workers as indicated and place them in their active pool, with any remaining going to the grow action. First player is chosen randomly. In Apiary, players are all part of the Mellifera, an intelligent and super advanced society of space bees. They each take on a different faction among the species, striving to obtain prominence and renown, the sweet nectar of glory. The game is played over a variable number of turns, with the active player either placing an available worker or retrieving them from the board. Where and how to place a worker depends on their strength value 1 through 4 and what task the active player is trying to perform. Otherwise, they're just winging it. In Explore, the Queen ship is moved to reveal new planets and collect resources. With Advance, new tiles are required to be added to the expanding hive. Convert can offer the opportunity to exchange resources or even teach a new dance, Swarming with Style, which adds a new conversion option. Grow is how more workers or hive frames are gained, while Research draws seed cards, which provide powerful one-time use actions or additional in-game scoring. Finally, Carve is where rare and valuable carving tiles are claimed, which is another in-game scoring option and added to the hive. The resources are used to pay for most of these actions, and the worker strength defines the limits of the action. Workers do not block each other and can be bumped back to the player who owns them, which takes the sting out a bit. If a player takes a retrieval turn instead, they collect their workers from the action spaces, age them up to the next strength value, place them in the active pool, and collect income from one farm tile in their hive per worker collected. However, if the worker retrieve was already strength 4, they immediately hibernate. The worker is placed at the grow space to be gained back later, and the active player places one of their hibernation tokens in the hibernation comb on any available space, gaining the pictured reward. Once either all spaces in the hibernation comb are filled, or any single player has placed their 7th hibernation token, the game end is triggered and all players get one final turn. Points are combed from positions on the score in Queen's Favor tracks, tiles and hives, filling the hive mat, planted seed cards, hibernation comb majorities, and any faction endgame abilities. The player with the most points wins, ties are broken by most workers still bumbling around on the board. I know what you're thinking, a game about space bees? You are pawing my leg. First of all, excellent pun. I applaud your commitment to the bit. Secondly, board games are weird. That's one of the things I've really latched onto in the last few years. After all, takes one to know one. Being weird, I mean, not a bee. Prob a bee. Oh no, it's the Bonanza thing all over again. Where was I? Right! Board games. So often we find things in our lives that disappoint us, like an underdone pizza or an overdone metaphor. For me, that has never been games. Whether I play them solo, with a room full of friends, or anywhere in between, I relish the experience. It engages my imagination and fuels pieces of my soul that I didn't even know I had. And sharing that with people, both strangers and loved ones, only amplifies that jubilation. When you peel off that waxy outer sheet, punch the tokens out to drip like honey onto the table, and take in a floral arrangement of parts and pieces, it makes you feel really a hive. Alright, I'll stop doing it. You know I can't help it. I'm the queen bee, I mean always game.
Wrong room!
Oh. I lost my bee.